Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the show. Today we have three nice games for you, all of them runouts like normal, and a couple near perfect games, and then we move over for the last game to the 9-foot table. So on this first game we had a nice break, but unfortunately nothing fell. So player 2 steps up for his runout attempt. And this brings up a good point here with this bank on this stripe. It's very important to work on your banks if you want to consistently make runouts. And then also get good spreads on your bank. Those are two very important keys because you're going to have banks on a lot of, especially if you're player 1 or if it's a dry break, player 2, because there's so many balls on the table. A lot of times you have to bank around to get around to some. And also that shot there is tough. It barely fell. And that was kind of key to this run out. This shot here, it looks easy, but it was actually difficult because it was a reverse cut, but not as bad as a lot of reverse cuts that I attempt. And that went in nice, and the really good thing is that the cue ball came off and broke up those two stripes and kind of spread them out across the table. So this run out looks very feasible now, and it's just about leaving the cue ball where I need it, and I left it a little short there. I go for the reverse cut to the left side of the table from our perspective to keep the cue ball on a good angle for the 9. If I would have went the other side, I would have been blocked by those solids. Plus that 6 ball was there to act as a blocker, which helped. And then now it's just about putting this 8 ball away and keeping the cue ball on the table. So as you can see, I'm pretty happy about that run out. And now player 2 is attempting his perfect game, so it's just a matter of running these 7 balls out. And strangely, that 1 barely went. And this is where it gets interesting. I took care of that solid and then come off the rail for this, I think it's the 3 ball. And I hit it perfect, except for I didn't hit it with enough follow or enough pace, and left this very long shot. And for the last few days, for some reason, I've been missing those kind of shots, which is funny because I'm usually good at those. And I did keep it together here. Usually I lose my cool and really bomb it after I miss a shot on a perfect game attempt. But we kept it together. I pull a little bit of low English to keep that cue ball on the right-hand side of the table. And this 6 ball, I didn't hit it the way I wanted. As you see, it comes off the rail, but still goes in. I wanted that to go clean, guys. The thumbs down is because I missed my perfect game, of course. The thumbs up was because I had a nice run out. Now in game 2, this game's even better than that last game. All depends on how you look at it. We'll get there soon. That was a nice break. Looked like there was a ball that went in, and as I scanned the table, I did make a stripe, but of course I could go for either with my rule set that I use. And the solids looked the best here. And as you see, I made 2 stripes, guys, but the stripes were kind of buried. And so I chose the solids because I felt like those were spread good and I could get around the table better to make sure to get a run out. Now that was an interesting shot, as I did a little bit of follow to keep the cue ball come back around, and left myself with a real long shot, which I don't really like doing. You just have to concentrate more and make sure you keep your pool stick level and hit it smooth, so you don't hit to the left or the right side of the cue ball, because that'll make you miss. You just got to line it up perfect and then hit dead center on the cue. That just let the ball continue on so I could get rid of that 5 ball there. And now this is interesting. I could take the 6, but I like the way that 2 was. Which I think it was the 2, but whatever. The one by the side here, it might be the... Yeah, it's hard telling with this little screen. But As you see, I came off the rail perfect for this 6, and the cue ball is going to track to the left to give me a nice shot on the 1. So, of course, that's why I celebrate, because it was such an easy 2-ball run here. Let's just stop this cue ball. And it rolled about 6 inches forward or off the ball, but that was okay because the 8 was dead in the corner here. And now we have a chance for our perfect type 1 run out. And for player 1, of course. And everything's looking great. I have a long shot. I don't know if you saw somebody just came by there a second ago, and now they're standing off to the right as kind of a fan, which I don't mind because I think it helps, because in order to get better, you have to be able to play under pressure. So if somebody's watching you, you're going to try a little bit harder to not make any mistakes because you don't want to look like a fool. And so I'm keeping this game going, and plus it helps for when you're playing in a match, because nerves are a real thing and you tense up and miss shots. So anytime you can practice with nerves is good. Now, as you see, I left this shot just a little short, and the perfect game, I could have made this shot with the bank. I think was the better shot, but I just didn't want to miss the bank and then regret not doing the cut, because cuts are my specialty. Even though we mentioned it's good to be good at banks, but banks are tough, guys. Even if you practice them a lot, cuts I find easier. But that was a weird cut, and it was long, and the cue ball was too short to the 14, and we missed. And so, as you can see, no celebration, because why celebrate when you didn't even get your perfect game when you had it in the bag? So now we move over to the 9-ball table. To the 9-foot table. And we played here. We had a nice break there. We got a ball on the to fall. And as we scan the table, it looks like the stripes are the best option here, guys, because if you can tell in the corner on the left, there's a stripe blocking the solids. So I chose the stripe, even though it was a long shot here at first and it was on the rail. I just wanted to hit the ball perfect, maybe with a little touch of top, just to keep it sealed up here on the wall the best we could. And now we have almost identical shot, and on that 14 on the side here, side rail to go into the long bottom right-hand corner. And on this shot, we're going to do the same exact thing. Cue ball is going to come off the rail just a touch, and as you see, it was tracking off of the rail, but it caught the pocket and fell in. And now, guys, this is interesting. Come off the rail and back to that 1. I was glad I didn't just touch, that 9, but I'm glad I didn't touch that 9 because it would have messed up the leave. And now we've got 3 balls in the 8-ball. And this is what I call a shooter's choice. Any of these 3 balls would have been good, but I leave the 9 because I want to come back for that and keep the cue close to the 8 once I make the 9. So I chose that 1 ball cross corner, and now we're just going to come off this rail a touch. Unfortunately, you don't get to see the shot, but it went, because otherwise it would have been on, deflecting around the table. Reflecting off of the side there. And now we're just going to go ahead and go with a stop shot here. And as you see, with a lot of green there, a lot of felt, I didn't do a perfect stop, and it rolled just a touch and made, of course, in true fashion, this is the way the day was going, a super tough cut shot for this side pocket. Now, I was thankful that I had to walk to that chalk because it gave me a second to kind of scan the table a little bit better to make sure that this was going to go. The bank was there, but I like the cut, like I said, and drop it in, guys. Just like that. Perfect pace on the cue ball. I always celebrate a little bit more on the 9-foot tables just because I find them that much tougher, guys. And I nearly had 2 other perfect game or run out games earlier in the day on the 9er, but I screwed up, so that's why I was happy here. And now I was going for my Type 1 perfect game and just needed to make these last 6 balls. And I want you to watch this shot here as I come off the rail. It was kind of tough because I couldn't reach, so I had to keep 1 foot on the table. 1 foot on the floor there. And the cue ball tracked for that pocket. And I almost feel like on this old table that it kind of pulled or tracked on the felt. It was almost like it's not perfectly level, and that's why it scratched, but I'm not sure because I didn't seem to have too many problems keeping the balls in line earlier. But guys, this brings up an interesting point. It's just so hard to keep your composure after missing a big shot that's important to you, but somehow you're going to have to be able to do it because you're not going to make everything you shoot. And if you let your game fall apart because of one bad shot, that's not going to help anything. But in true fashion, this game went to pot, and I was steaming about it, and it was just like everything I was pushing and pulling, putting in was just not going. And so the funny thing here is, as you can see, it was such an easy leave there for that 6 ball, and the cue ball just tracks. It didn't. Tried to put a little bit of low to keep it from scratching, coming off the rail, and didn't do it correctly. And as you see, scratched. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed those 3 games. They were really fun, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much.